Thanks, Christine. Extron and I are really excited to join you here at the Leveling Up Esports Conference. I thought I'd start off with a little bit of a background on who Extron is, for those of you who might not be familiar with us. We are a manufacturer of purpose-built audio and video hardware, as well as software, that plays a really important role when it comes to how organizations communicate and collaborate amongst themselves, and also how that technology integrates with their IT infrastructure. And so we actually have about 5,000 different powered products and well over 100 different technology patents. And from this portfolio, it really gives designers and consultants the opportunity to pull from a catalog that gives them the right fit for the application. And so myself, I've been in the AV industry for a little over 20 years, and a fair bit of that time has been at Extron. My role here at Extron is one where I'm responsible for the product marketing of our fiber optic, USB, and streaming product categories. So what that means is that I'm looking at a lot of the trends and technologies within those fields, both inside and outside of the AV industry. And one of the things that has me really excited is the developments going on in the esports segment. And so to see the K-12 market as well as higher education really getting into esports presents some very unique challenges, but also some really great opportunities. So as these universities and schools are starting to expand their esports programs, whether they're bringing on a team for the first time or maybe they've got a program that's starting to grow, they start to see that the audio and video system really becomes a key part of the success of their program. And it really benefits not just the people in the program, but also spectators and bringing them in closer to the event itself. There's also some educational benefit as well to these programs. And so when we start looking at the trends within these spaces, we start to see that really there are a handful that bubble up to the top in pretty much every conversation that we have with our customers. And so when we look at the trends, we see that things like computer technology and gaming consoles continue to increase the video resolutions or the refresh rates that they're supporting. And also they are getting into higher bit depths for the color. And as a result, the game developers are taking advantage of these advances in technology, and we want to make sure that our AV systems are able to keep pace with these changes and are able to deliver the integrity of these video signals from end to end while preserving kind of the purity of the gameplay for the actual players themselves. So let's take a quick look at the video resolutions and some of the data rates involved. So as an example, if you increase the refresh rate of a 1080p video from a pretty standard 60 Hertz up to 120 Hertz, you now have a video bitrate of about 9 gigabits per second. But when we take that refresh rate up to 240 Hertz, now all of a sudden we're bumping up to about 18 gigabits per second. When we start to increase the resolution, it also has a similar impact on the overall video bitrate. By understanding the video data rates involved and the impact of latency for each of the processing steps in the system, we're able to better preserve the integrity of that video signal, whether it's being routed within that single room, or even if it's something as large as an arena where we might even have 30,000 spectators watching some large gameplay going on. Now, sometimes we can't route uncompressed video and we have to introduce compression into a signal. So think about when you want to take your gameplay and you want to record it for playback for other students, or maybe you want to have that for outbound streaming to a service like Twitch. Those instances, we have to apply some compression. When we do look at the compression side of things, there's always 3 criteria that we want to evaluate. We want to look at the image quality. Are we able to preserve that as much as possible? How much latency is involved by that compression scheme? And then what are the bit rates? So compression is not always a bad thing. And being able to have the flexibility to design for uncompressed as well as compressed video distribution is a significant design decision. Now, since we're looking at design decisions, I'm sure all of us would love to have a blank check and to be able to choose the latest and greatest technology. I know I certainly enjoy having those opportunities to come up with a state-of-the-art design compared to a value-engineered design. But at the end of the day, we all have budgets that we have to work within. And so the second thing that comes up in a lot of our conversations, as I mentioned previously, is that people are looking for future-proof designs. And while there's no real single solution to coming up with a future-proof design, one thing that you can do to tip the odds in your favor is to look at a scalable and modular solution when it comes to your video distribution system. By doing that, you can grow your system over time. So as you have more players, you can add more inputs to your system. If you've got additional observation areas, or if you need to add a recording solution to the system, you add more outputs. So having that flexibility and that modularity to your video distribution system becomes a key component in making the right choice for your solutions. Now, Extron is uniquely positioned when it comes to these esports applications. As I mentioned, we've got over 5,000 powered products, which means that there's a broad range of high-performance video as well as audio and control solutions available. And what this allows us to do is to tailor the solution to fit the needs of your actual application. One of the ones that we've designed previously, I think probably would be good for us to take a look at. Here we can see that we've got a practice facility for a university. And in this example, we designed a state-of-the-art practice space that supports student stations. There's spaces for 12 students. There's also an area for the coach so that they can provide interactive guidance on the gameplay itself. And then there's also some observation areas so that teammates or others can do group analysis of the gameplay. And here we also see that there's that hybrid approach where we have some compressed video distribution as well. That streaming media processing capability allows us to record gameplay for playback later, as well as to stream it out to other services. Here we used a fiber infrastructure, and we were able to support routing uncompressed video signals with a FOX3 matrix switcher. One of the things that's unique about the FOX3 matrix is that it's the industry's only fiber matrix that integrates directly with Dante as well as AES-67 audio processors. Now what this means to you is that you're able to integrate directly with audio distribution and DSP systems for that voice reinforcement or any type of tweaking of the audio for speech intelligibility as you're in those instructional spaces. Here's a design that would be a little bit more suitable for a large competition or a tournament. Similar to the practice facility that we just looked at, we're still distributing uncompressed audio and video signals, but this time we're using our XTP2 crosspoint matrix switcher. Now, what's really special about the XTP2 platform is that it has a backplane that's capable of supporting up to 50 gigabits per second. By having that 50 gigabit per second backplane in the XTP matrix, we have an infrastructure piece that's able to support up to 8K video signals. Now, in order to drive engagement with our spectators, we also want to have a video wall display, something that brings those spectators into that gameplay environment. So we do that with our Quantum Ultras and a video wall solution there. One of the other areas that is unique to these large venue systems is that they typically need to work with a video production booth for broadcast applications. And so while our audio and video distribution system for gameplay is really focused on the uncompressed video signals, in broadcast, they typically are going to have a different video format. And that's where the Extron signal conversion and scaling products come in. We're able to take those high-resolution HDMI video signals and convert those into a more broadcast-friendly video format, something like SDI, or even convert those into a streaming format so that they can be sent to a content delivery network. So not only does Extron have the products and the technology that are suited for esports, but we also have a really amazing team of application engineers and system designers in-house that would love the opportunity to help you with your system designs. So whether you're just starting out in esports or you're expanding your esports program, we would love to hear from you, and we would love to come up with some creative solutions to any technical challenges that you might be facing. I really appreciate the opportunity to participate here today at the Leveling Up Esports Conference. And if you've got any questions, feel free to contact me afterwards or to call your local Extron representative.